What's up? Hey,
What's
Matt, how are
going
you?
on?
Where are you at today?
Good. Get my message. Open the door.
Well,
I'm in
we open
Boiling
open the
Rock,
door.
North Carolina, and I was
Oh,
going to
right on.
see if open the door so folks can get in. I want to see. Tell me what
Yeah,
you
we're
can see. I've got a mountains in the background. I try to walk that in.
starting to see a few.
I
A
think it's too
few.
bright.
It's a little pixelated. There, that looks a little bit better, Matt.
That's kind of weird.
That looks good. I love it, man. What kind of elevation are you at?
Probably about 4,000 feet. It's more going through the mountains, top of the mountains. But this place is like a scary old haunted mansion. We came
Right
here.
on.
My
Right
wife and
on.
I came here in the winter.
Well, so
But
appreciate everybody signing up. You might have just sent your push out because there's still people just starting to roll in, Matt.
yeah, that's it. I got a slow internet up here, so it may be tough getting down the hill.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, look at so
We're
everybody,
gonna start this show.
welcome to Lunch with Lumbermen with Matt Lehman from Lehman's Lumber Guide, Ashley Buckle Materials Exchange, mxlbr.com. Matt and I get together every week and talk about what we're seeing, trends in lumber. Matt's got a great base that follows him, and Matt follows all the pricings and trends and education in this industry. And Matt, I'm glad I talked to you before. So after the show is over, I was going to put a couple highlighted what I think are good items on the MX platform, and we'll talk a little bit about registering for your scouting report also
Yeah, I'd like
at the end
I'd
because
like to intro I'd like to answer that.
yeah, because it's great because I agree with you. I don't want to make it an infomercial. I want to keep this, and if that's not the purpose of it, we want to educate people on what we saw in the industry so far this week. So yesterday had a good call with Greg and Matt. Um, and Matt Beamer, and I was just going over your scouting report, which let's put up here. And you basically, let's start off right away where the market had about a 5-week kind of uptick. You could literally say maybe pine is having a little bit more on some stuff with the treaters coming in the past few weeks, and especially buying 6-inch, which you couldn't give away a month ago. But now it makes sense because it got into investment levels at some of those, and decking got hot. Um, the Weyerhaeuser strike is potentially settled, which we talked about potentially. I mean, there's still a possibility that may not happen, but unless you've heard anything different on that, Matt. Uh, but what you
No,
put up
just
here is
they're
contractor.
waiting on the.
Yeah. Contractor yards are, this is the quote from the scouting report. Contractor yards are still leaning towards lean inventories because builders are not committal about 2023. And I talked to a handful of these yards yesterday. Um, and many of them that used to buy uh, now are telling me, hey, these are guys that were buying 200 trucks a month. Like, I'm like, you're only buying 2 trucks. And he's like, yeah, but I need to ask if it's okay to buy these 2 trucks, right? So everybody's kind of in this capital preservation mode, especially from the people that deal on the contractor yards to single family builders. Multifamily builders a little different. They're still somewhat busy. Um, but what do you see? What's your feeling out there, Matt? I know you have a delay, so I'll shut up and let you say something here.
I I kind of tend to go for the dumb it down notion of everything, and I think we talk so much about repair, and remodel, and multifamily and home centers, but when you get right down to it, the bread and butter of what's going to happen with lumber supply, lumber demand, the 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 big users of it, it's new home construction, and all the rest of it is noise. I think it's supplement bubbles that are going off in the tub when you're sitting there, but it's the real the real thing that gives the market trajectory, family homes. And when those things are, when they're getting cancellation like 25, 30% a month and expecting it to happen again next month, there is a big, nasty housing doo-doo surprise coming. It's going to be first year. Builders are going to quit when they think that they're not going to have to. I think they're not going to have any choice when they get so many conditions that they're going to have this instant inventory. And it looks like we're going to 10% mortgage rates. There's nothing in the way at the moment, but we're going to be 8% by the end of the week. And that's knocked out a lot of people. It's made affordability even worse. And Fannie Mae raised their loan limits. If you scroll down to that thing there somewhere, it talks about it, to $715,000 from 605 or 610 or something. But basically, they raise the limits on what you can borrow by 674 to 715. They raise the limits on what you could buy to get yourself in more debt. For you still put 5% down. It's just the best deal going. And I think there's people that are in the market that are in trouble already with home. We're going to see some foreclosure issues. I think what the builders see right now, that's probably the most foreboding thing for them, is not only cancellations, but every day they sit there and watch fewer and fewer people be able to be qualified for a loan, and it's getting tighter. So it's just nothing they can do about it. So to me, I think we've got. I don't think the lows for the year are in yet. I think we're going to have them here by the end of this month, and then we're going to chug through nasty end of the year.
Yeah, Matt, one thing I hear and I read when I look at the big and talk to some of the small builders, the one thing that they're being more careful about or holding back on is new land purchases. One, because you don't have the same vision, and two, because the land prices are so damn high. Why, you know, I guess they maybe are thinking, what's the downside with not doing anything? But then that's their inventory when they have lots, because really, home builders are sell land. They have to put a house on it to sell the land, right?
Tell you for a fact that the major home builders have been liquidating inventory all year long. I heard it in January and didn't really think a lot of it, but by the summertime, it was a well-known fact that big builders were getting out of contracts for land and even paying to get out.
Yeah, I'm not that deep into it, but that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me, Matt. So, one thing I noticed was when you look at the guide, which what are you seeing on the Layman's Lumber Guide that really stands out this week? I think one of the things I like looking at is the momentum on the bottom, which you pointed out to me last week. That's the first thing I kind of look at and go to when I'm looking at your report. Uh, what do you
Yeah,
see? And I see what do you see there?
well, here's just the percentages there. The week ago, the 2 weeks ago. Don't look at the prices. That doesn't really matter. That just tells you what the prices are.
Yeah.
But you see, we've gone for the price change from 1 week ago is 96%. From 2 weeks ago, it's 92%. So if it tells me the direction is down because you're selling less than you're making. I mean, the prices are changing at a lower rate. But so that tells me that go 92 to 96, the direction is still down, but the downside momentum decelerating. And that number specifically pertains to 2x4, number 2 spine, which everybody knows has been weaker than everything else. But the price action indicates that it's still going down, but the momentum and rate of pace is decelerating.
That's a great point.
With
yeah, yep. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I was going to say, if you want to go ahead and say what you're going to say, if you want to look, same things applicable, like the Canadian SPS West went from 102% change this week, from 105% change last week. That indicates to me that the market is climbing, it's rising, the direction is up, but the momentum is decelerating from 105 to 102, the upside momentum is decelerating.
Yeah, so I mean, a couple things that I noticed sitting here just talking to people are talk about the spruce market. Uh, the Western spruce market, which is more contract grade, has less counter in it than the Eastern spruce market. The Eastern spruce producers still have inventory they're moving at decent, I should say, at they have their ears open on stuff, right, on pricing. Southern yellow pine, as you said, 4 inch 4 inch has been a high number for a while because of the offsite construction components, etc. And 6 inch was a dog for a while. 6 inch took off, like we said, with treaters. I mean, you have everybody in your mix of people in your layman world. What are you hearing from your pine buyers out there, since that's something you really have a pretty good pulse on?
The most recent thing that's happened is this week there was another round of multifamily projects, and they were for shipment in January. So that told me that the the apartment developers have been hoarding lumber by holding on to that project instead of giving it out 6 months in advance. They're holding it out for 3 to 4 months in advance. So they're shorting it themselves a little bit. So but there's a floating demand out there that's coming to the market, and there's more of it coming. And as much as I'm negative on what housing is going to do, I'm very bullish on what lumber is going to do, because the mills are not going to sit here and just make lumber and dump it and dump it and dump it and cash out the back door when there's an option is to curtail production to the point of what demand is. And typically the East, that they're not in front of that. They wait and see that they've got less demand now, so they'll reduce their production. But the market's screaming to us right now that the first quarter is going to be horrible. We're going to see, I've heard reports of 20% decline in new home sales. Same multifamily. I just did a survey not too long ago on LinkedIn, last week on LinkedIn, and said, I think that multifamily, when we finish being built right now, will multifamily be overbuilt? And 16% of the people said yes. 69% of the people said no. So everybody's expecting multifamily to go just continue to go as well as single family is going poorly. And I don't think either one of them are going to continue to the extremes that they're going right now. We're going to find some moderation somewhere. And my opinion is the multifamily sector is overbuilt with what's under production right they've got on the books is going to certainly have us oversupplied by the end of the year.
So let's what you brought up something interesting too. One of the things that we talked about yesterday, where the home centers supposedly are doing very well. I still have to I still have to find that somewhere. I don't have any data that shows me that, but I haven't looked real hard. That was just what Matt and Greg wasn't certain on. That's what Matt said yesterday, and that's kind of a head scratcher to me. I'm not certain that that's going on, but maybe it is. I just need to look into that. And OSB, you have a good comment here. OSB mills are selling production as buyers fill in. Contract negotiations are looking like more open market product in 23. Great point, Matt, because I've heard that from people and talked to Greg and Matt about it yesterday. People right now are still living off of their contracts, and in many cases, that's fulfilling a lot of their needs right now based on the amount that they contracted in months ago, right? Uh, and so while they're sitting there forecasting for next year, where they were buying, and this is just me spitballing, 60% on contract, that's now covering 100% of their needs, they may pull back. So what we're going to see is a lot more open market wood pricing the contracts, whereas the past 2 years there was less and less open market wood pricing the contracts. 2x4 number 3 is a perfect example, right? 2x4 number 3 spruce out of the West. If you're on contract right now, you got that really low number off of the contract, and you can't buy within $50 a thousand of it on the open market. So there's times when it works really well, right? And you're getting that product. But I think I'm still so I'm of the belief more contract wood or less contract wood means less volatility in prices because you have more open market wood that's got to be spun and sold every day. But there's the other side that thinks that may create more volatility. It's kind of, but I think we can both agree that in 2023, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot less contracts than there were in 2019, 20, and 21.
Yeah, and I'm of the camp it's going to be more volatility, and the reason is it could be an opportunity for speculation. You're going to see the brokers having more wood, office wholesaler types that typically haven't been, but they get last look at everything just because they're on the mills per bottom of the totem pole. But which is interesting because at NALA it's nothing but mills trying to sell wholesalers. It's kind of crazy. But for OSB, I just think there's just this underlying pent up demand for people to want to speculate on OSB. Everybody wants to have another truck, an extra truck, 2 trucks, because they've seen when the stuff gets tight and you got to go to Home Depot to buy your OSB truckloads or units at a time. I think OSBs that it can get under $300, there's going to be people that will start buying it up and just for speculation, that's going to make it go pretty high pretty quick. And I think that could happen. It could happen by the end of this month. I think the market's in a spot where it could go up $100, $1,000 across the board on everything, and you'd find speculative buyers that are willing to buy things that they just because of the value, regardless of the fact that business is going to be crap quarter.
Yeah, so I mean, what we're really setting up for Matt is we're we were going through that rocket ship leaving the Earth, and now we're kind of re-entering the Earth's orbit here on pricing, and we're not sure where this rocket's gonna land at.
Yeah, it almost feels like the rocket landed and it bounced, and it's getting ready to trying to
Yeah,
land.
it's not like the Elon Musk rocket that comes down and sets down really nicely, right? This is
Yeah,
1967, 60 to 72 stuff that just lands,
it's
or the yeah. Well, cool, Matt. I appreciate
memo.
that. So what's on your schedule for the rest of this week with your wife and you on vacation there?
I'm supposed to. I haven't got my honeydew list for the day, but I'm sure it's coming. But it's not stressful, that's for
So,
sure.
so
I did wanted
are you
to show
Airbnb?
something. Yeah,
Are you Airbnb in that place, or what are you what are you doing there?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
We are.
And I
It's like
apologize.
it's like.
I interrupted you. What did you want to show?
Oh, I was gonna make sure you let me segue you into your Ashley's picks before we go
Oh
off.
yeah,
But
yeah. Well, I wanted to. Well, yeah, for sure.
I also wanted to show the thing of how to register for Layman's Lumber. I mean the scouting report here for free, and we started something. We're just thinking it's going to be, for lack of a better word, a roundtable. But what we're going to do is it's going to be like a chance to talk your position. So it's almost going to be like a courtroom kind of thing where people just plead their case, like here's why I'm bearish, and get these people in the same room listening to both sides of an argument and just see what happens out of it. I've got about 50 people registered for the first one, and I'm going to make it open to as many people that want to come and get on. I think I 1,000 people on a Zoom call that could just watch. But I think would be I just keep trying to think of things that are different and where we can share information. And I was
love that.
thinking this is my into what you're going to do right here, because we've been talking about Ash and I've been talking to you guys for almost 18 months now, and nice following. And the reasons because we're just giving away something of value for nothing, and all we're asking in return is you give us another opportunity to help you save some money in the lumber market by taking products. And I know there's some people on here it's interesting that are not members of Layman's Lumber Guide or getting the free scouting report, and they're just watching. They're watching materials, seeing what happens, and looking at numbers and numbers to go someplace else, or then you skip the person that you got your your original contact through. And Ash is going to introduce today. I guess I think you would call it Ashley's Picks, but it's going to he highlights things that are really special deals on materials exchange, and try to get you guys to come looking more at it and do it more frequently, and give them some payback for all that free information.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Matt. And one thing
Here's
we wanted
Ashley.
to start it out. We want to start out too by first of all, appreciate that, Matt. I want to first show people how to register for your report, and I'm going to bring that up. So, what I want to talk about, and this is the part that we talk where if I use Matt's guide when he sends it over because I don't subscribe to any service, right? And I'm sometimes, if it's something that hasn't traded on mx.com or mxlbr.com, I don't know what the price is. And Matt, I can tell you that you've been filling in more prices every week, which sooner or later I'm going to lean on this all the time. So I hope you can keep people putting numbers on this because
Well, that's another thing I'll tell you. I've got a really solid, good group of just dozen people that give me good information. One guy, I called him up Saturday morning. He gave me everything in spruce and everything in southern yellow pine, east side, west side, British Columbia, eastern Canada, and OSB. And he ran down all of his individual price. It took like an hour to do, but he just gave up that hour of his time just to be a contributor to the thing. So it's the there's no payday in it for anybody other than certainly if you want my endorsement for your business, I'd be happy to do that if you want to contribute. But a lot of people, I found it doesn't take 15 people to get what's the gist of what's going on in the market, but you need a cross section of half a dozen mixes back and forth of wholesalers and mills and treaters and wood preservers and lumber dealers, and you get stuff from everybody. But I'm really excited about the one so far.
Yeah, so look at this. This makes a lot of sense. I mean, really, it's a community coming together to give their ideas and all the pricing that they're participating in, and we all benefit from it. So there's a link on here, which it's obviously not a hyperlink if you're watching this. It's laymansguide.com// scouting report. That's laymansguide.com/scouting report. And if you sign up for that, you know, you're registering for it for free. Matt could also really use your expertise, even if you had a person that specializes in 3 items, and you could give Matt those 3 items every week. That's a real winner there too. So that's like I said, I've kind of grown to it's really easy. It's one page, Matt. That's about as much as my ADD brain can handle during a day anyway,
That's all I
looking
can
at
put together.
pricing, right?
That's all I can put together too.
So appreciate that. And if you don't mind, and I appreciate all your users being, I'm going to roll over to, and what we're going to, first of all, just show them on this. And then the next few weeks, we're going to reintroduce the screen to people so they can start looking at it here. But I'm going to have Nick bring up what some of the items are that we think that are real highlight, as he put on the chili pepper there. Nice job, Nick, on that one. We've got over 20 trucks, Matt, of 3/4 paper wrap TNG OSB on the ground in the Southeast right now. So 20 trucks of that, and it's around the $700 price at these locations. And if you sign on to mxlbr.com, if you're a user, you would sign on to mxlbr.com and go in and type in OSB, prompt 2330 seconds TNG, and it'll show you your delivered price. If you are not a user of mxlumber.com, you can call us at 510-800-6254. That's not the number off the MX website, is it, Nick? Okay. 800 or 510-800-6254. We will get you registered. Couple other items we have, pine. We have pine all over the ground. This particular pine, the 2x4 16s. 2x6 14s. I think that one may already be, no, it's still there. 2x6 14. That's in the South, ready to go. I know that's a tight item. I think that 2x6 14 was around 450. Southern yellow pine, 10-inch 14s and 16s. Then let's go down to Dallas, Texas. I have 5 trucks of 2x4, all 12-foot. Number 3 listed at 425 a reload in Texas. I think that's well under what the carload price is for that particular length. Those are 12-footers, number 3. And then over on the east side in the Georgia market, we have number 1 and number 2 2x4 14s and 16s listed. The 2x4 number 1 14s were at 550, and the 16 number 2 were at 480. And again, you come on, it's a dynamic market. You can bid and put the price you want to pay. If you just want to see what it is delivered to you, you can look at what it is delivered to you without having an active bid in the market. So we ask you, if you are a user, to come to mxlbr.com, log in. If you lost your login or you don't have it, you can also call that number and we will give you your login back. If you have my email, you can email me also. So I just wanted to highlight, this is some of the items that we have up there. There's over 300 items listed. We have fir plywood listed in the Northeast. We have Brazilian plywood listed all over, and we have over 300 trucks of European spruce listed. The main items they want to move right now are 2x4 16s. So hopefully that helps users and prompts them to come on and realize that, one thing, Matt, that I have to do a lot. Today, for instance, I had to call a person 3 times. They went on and they figured out how to use it themselves, but a lot of people just need to get in the habit of it, if that makes sense. So everybody, I appreciate you letting us show this. And Matt and I will look forward to seeing you next week and going from there. Matt, do you have anything to close her out with?
Oh, thanks for the opportunity. Glad everybody could come, and hope you have a great week.
Yeah, appreciate it, everybody.